Hey, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever suits you at this time of year. Welcome to another edition of the Exercise of the Week. This week we're looking at the plank leg swing. So before we get into some detailed explanations of how this exercise works, let's just take a basic look at the movement patterns that are involved here as well as talk about what we're training. So basically we're getting into a plank position and doing like the name says and swinging the leg out to the side as far as you can on each side and tapping your toes to the ground for a second, and then bringing it back to center and then doing it again on the other side. The two main things that we're working on here are primarily I want you to be thinking about your core and the stabilization of the midsection of your body throughout the movement. But in addition, most people will probably feel it also in their shoulders and arms as you are moving those legs around and stabilizing the midsection of your body. Your upper body has to work quite a bit to sustain and stabilize that part of the body as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual exercise in motion and get in a little bit more depth on how this works. Okay, so setting yourself up in a nice flat area, you're going to get down into a plank position or push-up position with your shoulders locked in, and then you're going to just take each leg out to the side, one at a time, nice and straight, and touch the ground as far as you can. Now, in addition to the core and the shoulders that we talked about a minute ago, you're also working on some hip mobility and flexibility in that you're trying to bring that leg as far forward as you can each time. And so every time you do this exercise, in addition to those other things, be thinking about trying to increase that range, that active dynamic ability that you have to move that leg in that direction. Anyway, getting back to this exercise, now you can see here in the side view, what's happening here is I'm trying to use my core, my abs, to stabilize my hips as much as possible as I perform the leg swing motion. Now what I mean by that is there should be no swinging or tilting, I should say, rocking back and forth of the hips from side to side, whether it be moving from side to side or twisting the hips. And the core is what's going on, what's happening, what's working in order to accomplish that. So in addition to holding your arms nice and strong and steady and keeping your body in a nice flat plank position, you also need to be focusing on that core part of it, and it's just firing the whole time. It's definitely one of those exercises where it looks easy enough. Oh, I'm just in a plank position and I'm moving my legs out and back. But every time you move that leg, especially if you try to move it as far as you can, your core has to work to kind of offset the redistribution of that weight that's moving out to the side via the leg swing. Okay, so you can do 10 repetitions to each side of these or more. The slower, the better. Obviously, the slower you move that leg, the more you're going to have to use your core to stabilize that midsection of your body as the movement is happening. One thing you want to do as well is to try to keep your knees from bending as you slightly raise your foot off the ground and swing your leg out to the side. I was barefoot here and didn't want to catch my toes and toenails on rocks and stuff at the beach, so I kind of bent my knee just slightly so I could give my foot a little bit of clearance off the ground. Other than that, though, try to keep your leg as straight as possible as you do that leg swing. Anything else about this exercise? Let's see. The shoulders, a little bit more depth and clarification on that. Really try to push, and this is true for any plank-based exercise, really try to be pushing your body away from the ground as far as you can through your shoulders. Try not to lock your elbows. Locking your elbows kind of releases your triceps, especially from having to do the work that they need to do, and thus you'll be getting less out of the exercise. So shoulders pushing downwards through the ground, pushing your body away from the ground, and keeping elbows slightly unlocked. Arms are still straight, but elbows unlocked. Okay, guys, so that's the plank leg swing. This is a really great exercise. I like to use it in our Fit Camp workouts in combination with things that really get your cardiovascular system going, because what you have to do then is really focus on your core, which is already moving in and out and having to work from the cardiovascular work that you're doing, and then you have to switch gears and do something else, which is really challenging. All right, guys, so this exercise of the week, if you don't know already, is part of the Sweat Bank. And this is a new online resource that is launching in 2015 that is full, and I mean full, of all kinds of stuff that is going to be calculated and designed to help you have your best year ever and basically go on a year-long journey fitness journey to reaching the goals that you want, and maybe even surpassing them and getting to that place of the best shape you've ever been in, both physically and mentally. And so exercises like these and a whole lot of other things will be a part of the monthly subscription service that is the Sweat Bank, and exercises like these will be broken down into more detail. They'll also be integrated into workouts and different ways that you can use the exercises. And so I really want to just encourage you to take a look at what is up on the sweatbank.com website right now. It doesn't have a whole lot of it's not ready yet for subscription, but what you'll find there is descriptions of what will be on there in each on each web page, and what you'll get out of it, and the costs and all that and so forth. Okay, guys, so also please subscribe to this channel as well as my newsletter, where you can find and have all of these Exercise of the Week editions, as well as articles and a bunch of other great value-packed things that can help your fitness emailed directly to you. And I'll see you guys soon again for another exercise of the week. Hopefully by then I'll be able to learn how to talk. Aloha.